Good morning. Welcome to your program, Your Agenda on Cignal TV's One News, Channels 8 and 250. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us today and for seeing us through the 5.5 years of Agenda. And this week will be our final week on air. After tomorrow's episode, we will no longer be airing. And we just want to spend the remaining days saying thank you, expressing gratitude, not only to our viewers, but also to people who were guests in past episodes, individuals who supported the show, and people who helped our viewers understand matters of serious concern. Like today, we are going to revisit our relationships with three individuals who helped us understand the law and then helped us understand the digital world, and also someone who helped us understand immigration, migration, etc. So we will be doing that for today as the second to the last day of our Pamamaalam series. In any case, before we do our conversations, let's go and read up on our daily starter, something that we have done. We have introduced in this program to remind people about Bible verses, quotes, quotations that can help you have a good day and have a positive outlook. So, Gab, if you would, Gab Malyari, there we go. You survived too many storms to be bothered by raindrops. Some of you out there might be worried. In fact, I just saw a post on Facebook where the host was talking about all the concerns that many people in the United States are having, concerns about inflation, interest rates, about disease, etc. And today's daily starter is a good reminder for all of us. You survived too many storms to be bothered by raindrops. For a generation or multiple generations that have survived COVID, the pandemic, we have survived the transition from analog to digital. We have survived from office work to work from home scenario, etc. We will continue to survive by God's grace. And we do hope that this will encourage some of you who might be worried. But in the meantime, let's get on with our program with our first interview for today. Someone who helped a lot, who was an immense source of information regarding the digital divide, regarding the digitalization of life in the Philippines, for instance. Let's roll out the Betamax, Gab, and let's start the program.
From online scams to hacking incidents, Agenda has tackled numerous issues related to technology. The program had tech experts like Art Samaniego Jr. to further understand these topics. The cybersecurity advocate has previously warned about the loopholes of the SIM Registration Act, saying criminals can still get around it.
Kung paano i-ascertain na authentic yung document, kasi ang mga Pinoy, alam mo naman mga Pinoy, mamimeke itong mga taong to. Yung mga kriminal, lalo na yung mga kriminal, para makapag-register ng...
Samaniego also shared some useful tips to the viewers on how to avoid online scams. For example, don't connect to a public Wi-Fi when doing financial transactions.
Paggamit ka ng public Wi-Fi, wag kang maglalagay ng password kasi pwedeng manakaw yung credentials mo.
Let's look back on 2023 and look ahead to 2024 in terms of tech news on today's agenda.
Good morning, Boss Art. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me again.
It's always a pleasure, especially for you you've always been very supportive of Agenda, and a rich source of information. In fact, I was just looking at the video that they used, and grabe, ang transition, even for me, when I saw that video, I was washed out. I was using primitive equipment, and in a way, I still am. But it's very interesting. Okay, so let's bring back Art. I think we had a glitch there. So kitang-kita, Art, nagbago eh. From being live at the studio to working at home, we're using lamps, study lamps, etc. And then ngayon meron ng mga ring lights, spotlights. What can you what amazes you, or what was the good things that you saw in the past year or in the last 5.5 years that agenda's been in terms of digitalization, etc.?
So, ang agenda, hindi pa uso tong ganito ginagawa na natin, di ba? So even before the pandemic, ginagawa na natin. So also, it was announced here in agenda yung mga warnings natin na pwedeng mangyari, especially the SIM registration.
Mm-hmm.
I think laging binabalikan yung episode na yan even by other channels. Now agenda already warned about the SIM registration process na pwedeng mapeke. So it was announced first in agenda in October bago yung SIM registration. So mga changes because of the pandemic, we are all forced to digitize, especially the most vulnerable sector of the society, the children and the senior citizen. So napilitan si lolo at lola na mag-Shopee, mag-Lazada, mag-online order ng mga food. Napilitan ang mga kids na to go online for school. And sad reality is that cyber criminals know this. Kaya sila din yung tina-target ng mga
thank you for mentioning that it was on agenda, that you and the program raised the alarm regarding the SIM card anomalies. But I think it was also with you where we tackled the issue of financial hacking, identity theft. If you remember, na may mga kaibigan tayo sa banking industry na who really took steps, and it actually forced one telco to implement, a must have a photo upon acquiring a SIM card or a phone.
Yeah. Ikaw naglabas nung SIM swap.
Oh, yung SIM swap scam.
SIM swap scam. Your friend got scammed for million yata yung na-scam. And because of that yung sinulat mo, Cito, alam mo na bago, naging mas stricto na yung mga telco for SIM swapping. So ito yung effect mo. So nung sinulat mo yun sa Philippine Star, kumalat yun. It has gone viral, and banks became and telcos became more careful, lalo na dun sa mga branches nila sa pag-switch ng scam.
I think you were the number one authority or consultant for that problem, because I just wrote an article. Kumbaga, sabi nga ng wife ko that was the easiest column you ever wrote that went viral. you just wrote the sama ng loob of your friend, and but you, on the other hand, Art, you were consulted by a lot of banks, and I guess that's the value added we put into this. But the question is, what should we think about? I was having a conversation with Orly Mercado yesterday, and I was trying to put across the fact that technology has really rewritten human history and our daily lives. I think the most impactful, sabi ko nga dati, di ba may easy call lang tayo Then we had mobile cell phone, di ba? And then after the cell phone, you now have hindi voice only, hindi text only. You even have Messenger, you have Viber, etc. And even for media, we now see how smart TV is redefining the engagements, the terrain, etc. Parang dati kailangan meron kang VHS Betamax. Ngayon, kailangan mo na ngayon, pag may smart TV ka lang at saka internet, okay ka na.
Oo. So, pero isa lang yung consistent dito. Yung connectivity natin. So before fax machine, tingnan mo na paghahalap ng magka-batch tayo, no? Di ba? Fax machine. So ngayon, wala nang fax machine. Dati, if you will check Manila Bulletin's pages in early 90s, makikita mo yung dateline via PLDT. Kasi dinikta yung storya, dinikta yung storya papunta sa newsroom. Kaya ang dateline via PLDT. Ngayon, wala, instant na eh. So email mo, dire-diretso na. Pero yun nga, isa lang yung consistent, yung connectivity. Before, dapat connected ka. Ngayon, kailangan mo pa rin na connected ka. So, ganun kabilis yung technology, pero meron mga bagay na stay consistent. Ako, tingnan mo yung tingnan mo yung smart TV. Very smart na talaga. Yun yung sample mo. So, pero itong mga nangyayari ngayon, lalo na ako, I'm really focused on cybersecurity. Now it's about scams na tinututukan namin. So this thing is really about shared responsibility. So yung nangyari sa friend mo na scam siya, shinare sa'yo, and then pinublish mo, nabasa ng mga taong gobyerno, gumawa sila ng paraan, nabasa ng mga private companies, gumawa sila ng paraan para ma-improve yung security. So it's really a shared responsibility. Hindi lang ikaw, hindi lang government, hindi lang private sectors. Ang responsibility ng mga users, you need to report. Dapat magsumbong. Kasi pag di po tayo nagsumbong, ang mangyayari, mabibiktima yung iba nating mga friends. Yung friend mo, hindi niya alam, ang dami na niyang nailigtas sa SIM swapping crime dahil sa pag-report niyan yun. Yung pag-report mo, ang dami nang natulungan nun dahil gumawa ng paraan ang mga telco para mas lalong mapahigpit yung process of exchanging SIM card na very simple lang SIM card. Yung SIM card kasi hindi lang siya SIM card. Nandun na yung buhay natin, nandun na yung bangko natin, nandun na yung social media accounts natin, nandun yung recovery ng mga emails natin. Kaya it's very important. And that incident showed that security is really a shared responsibility. Salamat doon sa article mo na yun.
Well, what do you have to say about use of technology? Because during the holidays, biglang nakakadinig na ako ng mga tao who were saying, papasulat ko na lang sa ChatGPT ang presentation na yan o yung thesis na yan. Kung ako sa'yo, pasulat mo na lang yan sa ChatGPT. Yesterday, I was with a whole 15 other guys, and we were doing picture taking. Dati, pag nag-picture taking ka 2 years ago, isa-isa yung mga camera na yun. Kawawa yung waiter, kawawa yung boat boy, di ba? But yesterday, sabi nila, and then pare, drop mo na lang, airdrop mo na lang. Parang, teka, paano na nga ba yung airdrop? So suddenly, it struck me, okay, is technology going to be the byword, the name of the game for 2024 more than any other year?
So everything will converge to technology. For example, cybersecurity will converge to IT. Lifestyle will converge to IT kasi meron na nga yung mga IoT or Internet of Things wherein lahat na nakakonect na online. Your home will be smarter and the solution will be much cheaper dahil sa mga advancement of technology. Also, ChatGPT Ayun, so let's consider AI as a tool which could make our lives easier, which could make our work a lot simpler. So
Mhm.
instead of reading the 484 pages of documents, we can ask ChatGPT to summarize it for us. So, nangloloko ba tayo? Hindi naman, hindi. Ginagamit natin yung technology. Like when my mother was in college in the early 60s, bawal gumamit ng calculator sa kanila, kinikwento niya. Bawal gumamit ng
Mm.
calculator kasi nakakapurol daw ng utak. But now, everybody uses calculator because it's a tool. Sa tingin ko, ganito din mangyayari sa ChatGPT, sa AI or sa generative AI. So we will be using more and more of generative AI like ChatGPT, like Bard na yung gawa ng Google, to make our lives really easier, lalo na sa work natin. So
Do you see do you see new equipment or accessories? Kasi ikaw ang magaling dyan eh. Meron ka nga dyang table na puro cellphone of the last sa decade, di ba? But ang curious lang ako kasi as I travel around the country, parang ganun pa rin yung ating
Oo.
connectivity, problema pa rin. Now, people were, the big chismis of 2023 was yung kay Elon Musk ba yun? Yung kanyang satellite, what you
Starlink.
call it? Ano tawag doon?
Starlink.
Oh, Starlink.
Uh,
Mukhang naging Starlost. Kasi pag walang masyado raw mahal, and then connectivity is sketchy. What do you see coming in 2024 that's something that you could put your money on?
ito ito, inabot ko. Ito. It's called Time Kettle.
What?
Time Kettle siya. It's a translator. So, para siya earphones.
Okay.
So if you're a non-English speaker and you go abroad, halimbawa napunta ka sa China, so ibibigay ko to sa iyo. Suot mo to. Ito isusuot ko.
Okay.
Then I'll just talk in Tagalog. Ang maririnig mo sa iyo, Chinese
Mandarin.
na. Mandarin na. So if you go to Germany, bigay mo lang to sa German. Tapos usap kayo. Simultaneous translation. Pero yun nga, kailangan ng strong internet connection. So nandun tayo, papunta tayo sa connectivity. Tapos yung German naman, salita siya simultaneous. Ang gagawin mo kasi meron siyang app, mamimili ka lang kung babae o lalaki yung kausap mo. Pag babae, syempre pipiliin mo babae. Ang galing niya. So sinubukan ko sa hotel abroad. So nagsalita ako ng Tagalog, tinranslate niya. So of course the translation is not perfect, pero magkakaintindihan kayo nung kausap.
Hindi ka naman nasampal,
Delikado, kaya dapat careful ka, dapat sabihin mo gagamit ka ng app at hindi siya perfect, hindi perfect yung translation. So ito yun, gamit sa ito, artificial intelligence, AI. So ganito yung power ng AI na magagamit natin. Pero ang magiging problema nito dahil sa AI, criminals will also use AI.
Mm-hmm.
So for example ngayon, if somebody sends you an email or a text message, pag wrong grammar yan, alam mo na. Ano to?
Yun, tama. Because someone actually, on my Facebook, may notice you have violated community standards, etc. So I asked my wife, Karen, could you look at this because you're the expert in these things? So she went through it. Sabi niya, it looks real, but there's something about the font. Yung font, number one. Pagkatapos, when she got deeper into the article, sabi na, teka, if these people are from India, people in India know how to speak proper British English. This joker doesn't. So the verbs, etc. are wrong. So this is a scam. Pero pag tiningnan mo, mukhang Facebook talaga.
Now, because of AI, nako, ang hirap ng i-recognize ang scam sa hindi scam.
Aray ko.
Papasok ng scammer, ngayon nakikita na namin, ang gagaling na mag-English. Kasi nga, pinakorek na nila sa AI yung phishing email nila.
Mhm.
So, kaya dapat careful tayo sa pagtingin pa rin doon sa URL. The URL is the website address. Pag
Mhm.
anomaly, pag merong halimbawa nagdagdagan ng letter O or wrong spelling, it's a scam. So ito yung isa sa mga indicator natin kung paano maiwasan tong mga scam.
Okay, now, what are your personal activities for 2024? Ikaw ba magiging, are you a vlogger already? Do you have a podcast? Kasi ang daming mga suggestion eh. Ang daming, kulang na lang, mag-live show ako eh.
Hindi, sa 2024, I'm planning to go around the Philippines in partnership with LGUs to give talks on technology. So technology in general, pero ang focus namin how to secure your social media accounts because scams in the Philippines are coming from social media. So ang dami na scam sa atin, 72% galing sa Facebook na mga scams.
Are you doing this on your own or are you partnering with Manila Bulletin or which group are you working with?
I'm with I co-founded Scamwatch Pilipinas
Okay.
with Manila Bulletin and Truth 360. So ito yun, ang purpose lang talaga namin mag-educate. Yun lang, magastos para ng ganito, no? Pag ano mo,
Okay. No, we should get together because I'm also a speaker for the Ed Talks, hindi TED Talks, Ed Talks, editorial talks of San Miguel Corporation, where they go around the country also and trying to share the expertise of veteran journalists, experts like yourself, to give them a better handle of things or to address yung mga questions sila or concerns sila. So maybe in 2024, that's what maybe we can sit down over coffee on that with both groups and be a bigger impact on the population.
Oo, sige. Ayan, let's do it for 2024. Kasi ngayon Cito, targeted ngayon ang mga journalists and medical practitioners na mga scammers. So, pag i-take over yung mga account natin, pag na-take over yung mga account natin, mas malaki kasi yung reach natin. Saka mas mataas yung credibility natin. Kaya yung mga journalists and medical practitioners dapat mag-ingat for 2024.
Okay, well, I will take that to heart, Art, and let's do coffee very soon, right after the New Year celebration. And I pray, and I would like first to thank you on behalf of Agenda for always being there for the program, for promoting our similar concerns and safeguarding the security of people. May God bless you, bless your family, and bless the work of your hands. And may He prosper you in 2024, my friend. I will be seeing you.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Art Samaniego. And if you are one of those LGU officials or out there in the provinces who would like to hear Art Samaniego or the San Miguel Corporation Ed Talks, send both groups an invite. And I'm sure they would be happy to accommodate journalists and, of course, LGUs to hear and to learn from both sides. We'll be taking a quick break, and when we return, let's talk about what's happening at the Bureau of Immigration, at the airports, any nightmares, at mukhang may nahuli sila recently. Okay, we'll be right back here on Agenda.
Over the past few years, various immigration issues made headlines and got the public talking. To get the real score, Agenda has always relied upon the Bureau of Immigration spokesperson Dana Sandoval. Back in 2020, Sandoval provided the lowdown on the controversial Pastilla scheme.
In the video, in particular, the officer was looking at his cell phone and reading through the names and checking the names if they match the one that is being presented to him. So that in itself is already against the SOP.
Earlier this year, the public official also painted the picture of what she called the worst human trafficking she has seen.
They are being transported from one Asian country to another. Say, for example, a passenger presents herself or himself as a tourist to Laos or Thailand or Cambodia. And they are being transported, they are being made to cross the border without their knowledge. They are made to ride a van to cross the border or ride a boat to cross the river to get to Myanmar. And when they get there, they think that it's still in Laos. They had no idea. They're in the middle of nowhere. And they are made to work in a cryptocurrency scam.
Sandoval also shed light into how some foreigners are illegally entering the country to commit crimes.
When they enter here in the country, they have all the complete documentation. In a lot of cases, they apply for the conversion of their visas to a working visa. They are housed in pseudo companies that pretend to be legitimate online gaming companies but are really involved in criminal activities like prostitution, like kidnapping, forced labor, and stuff like that, in the guise of a legitimate company.
Let's get to know more about BI's actions and plans to address immigration woes on today's agenda.
Good morning and welcome back to the program, Dana.
Good morning, Sir Cito, and happy holidays to you and to everyone in your program, and of course all the viewers. It's really nice to be back, and that was such a lovely introduction showing what the Bureau has been working on for the past few months.
Well, I think it's only right that we establish the achievements of the Bureau, not just in the past few months, but in the last 5.5 years. And as you already know, today will be our second to the last airing. Tomorrow will be our last day. But it's nice to look back at 5.5 years and see that the Bureau has really clamped down on a lot of illegal activities, a lot of criminal immigration activities. And I suppose it continues. But before anything, Dana, what's the situation at our ports and airports?
So far, there are a lot of travelers right now. We've seen a daily average of arrivals, I think around 60,000, 59 to 60,000 a day for all airports. Majority of that, maybe 85% is at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. That's quite a lot already as compared to the past years, because I think it's the first holiday season that every country is already open post-COVID. So it's really, I think this is the culminating activity for our frontliners, because we've been preparing for this for the longest time, for the resumption of international travel, of tourism, and now we see that it's really coming back. It's international travel is once again blossoming, tourism is once again blossoming, and we're happy that things are slowly getting back to normal.
Okay, and I just want to do a comparison because I just came back from Boracay, and my friends who own restaurants and hotels, Airbnb, they're still kind of sad. They said, yeah, it's beginning to pick up, but it's not like before. And ang hirap dun sa yung katulad ng dati or before, which year are they talking about, diba? So as far as 2023 is concerned, the last few months, because a lot of the tourists come in from November, December, what were the numbers like?
Very close to pre-pandemic already, Sir Cito. Perhaps not yet there, but very close now. For November, in pre-pandemic figures, we had 1.4 million arrivals for November 2019. For November 2023, we already had more than 1 million. So it's getting there. And we
Mhm.
can feel it at the Bureau of Immigration because people are already coming in big batches. But I guess maybe next year we're going to finally achieve the pre-pandemic figures. But this year it looks like it's getting there, especially during the holiday season. I the figures that we've seen are like 60,000 in a day. It's very close to the, I think it's 70 maybe thousand a day pre-pandemic. So we're seeing good numbers this year end.
Okay. And in terms of complications, problems, one would think that, in the mad rush of things, that's where the criminals take advantage, people who want to sneak out or sneak in. I know the Bureau has been blocking a lot of sex offenders, people who have criminal cases from abroad. But right now, with the holidays upon us, what's the situation at the NAIA in particular?
Well, I guess it doesn't stop. Like human traffickers, illegal recruiters, as well as illegal attempting to enter the country really don't try to enter the Philippines. Actually, some of them try to abuse the holiday season and like pretend that they are legitimate tourists coming in or going out of the country.
Mhm.
But we have intercepted a few of them. Uh,
Okay. I think we're losing the signal there from Dana. But yes, that was reported today that the NAIA actually were able to rescue two victims of human trafficking. And sadly, they were apparently assisted by local individuals connected with the NAIA in one way or another. But we will carry on with. Okay, there's Dana. Sorry, Dana, we lost you over the
sorry.
signal. I know that you guys were able to intercept recently two OFWs who were assisted by some NAIA employee or something. Is that correct?
Yes, it's not really clear whose employee this person is because he has a pass, an authorized pass inside the
Mhm.
airport. Since there are a lot of agencies and even private entities that are located inside the airport, but it was clear that this individual was assisting two trafficking victims who
Mhm.
pretended to be tourists for their holiday vacation in Thailand, but they were really recruited to work as household service workers in Dubai, and they were trying to circumvent the policies of the Philippines and all the governments by going out of the country as tourists, which is really which is really making them very vulnerable to exploitation once they get there.
Okay, who are the biggest population in terms of is it Koreans, Chinese, and there was a rumor going around in Boracay that the Chinese weren't coming because there was a ban or something. Could you kindly clarify that? Kasi medyo sabi ko, nasa media ako, di ko nadinig yan.
Yes, I think it's still the Koreans. It has never, they have always been, I mean, the top arrivals, even prior to the pandemic. It's the Koreans
Mhm.
who have been topping our arrivals here. I think it's because of the winter season there. Many of the Koreans go to the Philippines during winter season and enjoy our very sunny beaches here in the country, as well as many of them go to short-term English courses here. So there are many resorts that offer it's like a staycation, but they will study English at the same time. It's like a boot camp for English. So it's really an interesting thing for Koreans going here. As for the Chinese, yes, we've noticed that the numbers are not as high as before, but I think there's still some restrictions in China, if I'm not mistaken, for outbound Chinese nationals. While they have reported that they have fully opened, but we've noticed that the numbers are still low. But I don't think it's limited to the Philippines. We've seen it in other countries as well. So maybe there's still some restrictions or something in their government right now that lessens the tourism. But I think soon after all this hullabaloo about COVID, it will return soon, maybe perhaps next year.
So there are no Philippine bans on Chinese tourists, no ban national or local. Kasi parang may naghahaka-haka dun sa Boracay na nakausap ko. Teka, checkin nyo muna yan, baka kwentong kutsero yan.
Wala po. Actually, there are also a main target of the Department of Tourism in the tourism efforts, because the Chinese tourism market is a big market that many governments want to capture. We've recently attended an immigration forum, and it's something that we've discussed offhand with some of our counterparts in other countries, that the Chinese market is a really big tourist market. That's why many countries want to invite them to their shores, not just in Asia, but also in the United States and other Western countries.
What is a surprise group for the Bureau of Immigration? Because a friend of mine in Boracay, Sunny De Leon of Poco Deli, mentioned that they had noticed a spike in Canadians on the island. As far as the records of the Bureau are concerned, which group is a surprise group? Parang biglang dumami.
That's a tough question. I think right now, after the pandemic, one of the highest is really, yes, that's right, Canadians and Americans. More than Canadians, it's really Americans, because I think that's the effect of the Filipinos having a lot of relatives in the United States. So when our shores opened, initially, they were the first batch of people who really rushed to go home and see their families or meet their loved ones. So I think that's one of the surprising things, that the Americans have a high number of arrivals here as compared to other nationalities.
Okay. Now, as far as Bureau business is concerned, I know that in the last 5 years, reforms were being introduced. I think there was even a rewrite of the immigration code that was so old. Has that been accomplished? Is there now a new immigration code?
The law is on its way. We do hope that it will be approved. It was approved already. I think at the Senate level. So we're really thankful for that. But we're hoping for the final approval of the national government, perhaps in the coming year, in 2024, to finally update that really old law that has a lot of unnecessary and inappropriate already stipulations, like idiots are not allowed to enter the Philippines. It's specifically written there. That's what's funny about it. It's specifically written in the law that we are not allowed to how can you measure that?
Idiots are not allowed to enter the Philippines,
Yes.
but they can run for public office. Sorry, I don't want to drag you into that, but that is a joke of many Filipinos, because all you need is know how to read and write. But as far as more manpower, better pay, etc., tougher screening on employees of the BI. And I don't know if you guys even have hazard pay. Do you guys have hazard pay?
We don't have hazard pay, but we do have augmentation pay, for particularly for our frontliners who are doing 24/7 work at the
Mhm.
airports. I don't want to say more tougher screening for immigration officers, for incoming immigration officers, but I would like to say more loving screening for incoming immigration officers, because one thing that Commissioner Tansinko's management is trying to prioritize now is our immigration officers knowing their job and being imparted with soft skills during their trainings, because our immigration officers have always been bombarded with lessons on laws, on policies, on updates about our procedures. But I think it's high time that we do on the soft side, wherein customer service, proper communication. And that's one thing that this management is prioritizing during our trainings, is that to make sure that our officers are equipped with those very important, I really don't like calling them soft skills, because they make you tough as a person, I guess, and they make you it's a really important part of the job as frontliners. But equipping our people with those skills, which is equally as important as the laws and all the technicalities that they know.
Yeah. Well, Dana, it's been a good ride, 5.5 years, and we have been glad to have served or helped the Bureau of Immigration in its concerns. And congratulations to you and to your team members and your associates, because at least we finished the year with good points, and we are glad that you are all well. Thank you very much for supporting Agenda and always being there for us, Dana Sandoval. God bless you. God bless your kids. Dalawa na ba o isa pa lang?
Dalawa po, dalawa.
Dalawa na, di ba? Okay, dalawa na. Imagine you had 2 kids
Yeah.
in 5.5 years of Agenda. Thank you very much, Dana. God bless you, and regards to the commissioner.
Thank you so much, Sir Cito. Thank you, and thank you to everyone in your program. You've been very helpful in sharing information to all the viewers. Thank you, and congratulations to everyone.
Okay, and that's Dana Sandoval. We will now go to our next guest after a quick break.
Throughout the years, Agenda has become a platform to discuss issues that matter to the Filipino. One of the show's go-to experts is attorney Domingo Cayosa, who has shared his law expertise on different topics. Cayosa has shown that he's not afraid to speak out, even in issues that involve those in power.
Harry Roque is a friend, but I think in this particular point, he's wrong.
Okay.
Because even, sabi nga ni General, the protocols in service of warrant, a search warrant, entitled naman talaga yung party being searched to have a representative and to monitor what's happening. And if he cannot do it personally, he can send lawyers. So it's a standard operating procedure na pwedeng i-represent yung mga lawyers. So I think he's wrong in that point.
Cayosa is also one to advocate for justice reforms.
When you release, everybody knows there's no secrecy, there's no requirement that this list will be kept secret. It has to be made public. But what is important is the computation by whom
Is
and in favor of whom should be transparent. It's costless.
And even as he stepped down from his post as IBP president, Cayosa continued to share his legal knowledge on pressing issues. This includes the case of the late physician, Dr. Iggy Agbayani.
It may be a fear to some of the doctors, and we could understand because they may not know or appreciate the details of the law, the criminal justice system. But they should not fear because cases of negligence or reckless imprudence, for that matter, in this particular case, or criminal negligence, depends on the circumstances.
Let's catch up with a man who has served the Filipino public in many ways on today's agenda.
Eaten up by the...
Good morning, Attorney Cayosa. Welcome back to the program. Baka sabihin ng iba, hindi pa tayo nagbibihis, December na.
Good morning, Cito, at magandang umaga sa lahat ng nakikinig at nanonood sa iyong programa.
Okay, it was pure coincidence that in that last video, Attorney and I are wearing the same shirt today. But hey, that means tastes don't change overnight. But you know, I did notice, Attorney, I hope you don't mind me pointing out, when we first met each other on the program, hindi pa puti buhok natin. We both had black hair, and now we are gray-haired gentlemen. I pray so much more wiser than before. So, how are you doing? What are you involved in now that you are no longer president of the IBP?
Well, we continue advocating for reforms in our justice system. Our practice now in the law firm is focused on ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution, as a means to shortcut the very long judicial processes. And we still do lectures, and I spend more time with my family members.
Well, that's a good, last point is probably the best thing you're doing right now. You're not yet retired. Does that word ever register in your mind? Because I guess we are in that point in time where people are asking, meron ba talagang retirement? Can I afford to retire? What's your view on that?
Well, I don't think we really retire, no? But especially in our profession and perhaps also in your profession, there will always be issues. There will always be things to advocate about. So if you're an advocate, issues come up and you don't stop standing your ground, explaining, advocating. So we don't really retire. Perhaps we slow down or we are more certain about our priorities. But I don't think we retire. Possibly the better term is we prepare better for, the day when we really join our God up in heaven. So it's not really retirement. I think it should be a conscious effort to prepare for the end of our life here on earth.
Okay, having said that you are now focusing on alternative dispute resolution, what about lawyers in media? Because I recently gave a talk and there was a gentleman who was a lawyer and dabbling in journalism. And I said, alam mo, pare, I think you should simply take your knowledge and expertise of law, bring it to the radio station, and do the public service, because there are a lot of Filipinos who don't even realize they have rights, much less know they have rights. They're not even aware that they have rights. Why is the IBP not doing that? Kumbaga, doing a regular daily show, radio program or TV program or online to help Filipinos. Kasi nagpupuntahan na lang sa kung sino-sinong celebrity for help or media personality. And half of the time, the media personality will tell me, anong ma at pa ko, anong malay ko at pakialam ko sa batas.
Well, let me correct you on that, Cito. The fact is, IBP as an organization is a very robust public awareness program. No, especially when I became president, there were a number of chapters which had regular radio and television programs in the respective provinces and cities.
Okay.
So, ako as president, I institutionalized that and encouraged all our 80 chapters to do the same. So meron kami yung mga weekly, monthly, both on local cable TV and yung mga local AM, FM station. So we really have that. Aside,
Yung sa community radio.
Yes. Then the other also is every chapter has a Facebook account, they have YouTube, and they do that to improve the access to legal services. Free legal services, meron yan. Twitter, Facebook, social media accounts. And hindi lang siguro kasing popular as your program and many other national networks, but they have that at the local level. I am also aware that there are a number of lawyers who have blogs. There are also a number of lawyers who have regular programs in national networks. Yun lang, sometimes the more pressing issues or controversial issues, they shy away from that. So we need people like you who bring up these issues so that we can respond.
Well, you can let me know and I can write about it because wala nang agenda tomorrow. So I will write about it in my column in the Philippine Star, and I'm sure we can continue serve on that platform. But anyway, Attorney, last question. Okay, what do you see happening in terms of law in the Philippines? Because the biggest story towards the end was the case of Dr. Iggy. And will that continue as a major legal story, or is there something else? Because the congressmen are now talking about constitutional reform, etc.
Well, certainly things are looking brighter, no? And we hope it will continue. The war on drug continues, but now it's a very clear policy with human rights and the rule of law as of improved. Now, I hope it will continue. No? In the international agenda, we're starting to enforce and stand by the West Philippine Sea ruling in our favor. So hindi na lang politics. Then now we have a chance at amnesty. So, these are huge policy strides which puts forward the rule of law at nilang yung violence, killing, and the rest. No, we also have talks about rejoining ICC. We have this phenomenon of witnesses, turning around, witnesses against De Lima and the others. There are cases filed against the past president. We're not prejudging any of these, but you see the rule of law now coming into play. So we have high hopes. Medyo nailalagay na sa forefront yung rule of law. I hope it progresses beyond press releases and policy statements. But
okay,
we're getting there.
Well, thank you very much, Attorney. And thank you for all the input you've given us and lectures you've given us here on Agenda. I am certain that a lot of our viewers walked away with a better understanding of the law. And I pray for you and your associates to become champions, not just in the promotion of law, but also in the service to the people. God bless you. God bless your family, and have a good and healthy life ahead of you.
Thank you, Cito, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to enlighten our fellow men.
Okay, that's Attorney Domingo Cayosa, former President, Integrated Bar of the Philippines. And it was through him that a lot of us had a better, more sober understanding of the intricacies of the law. So we'll now go to our closing blessing for the week. From the book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 8, the Lord says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. That is our blessing to you this week. And we thank you for joining us once again. And remember, tomorrow is our last day. So do join us. And we hope that you will have a great day all day today. Be careful. There's still a lot of traffic. And stay cool. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, thanking you. Please keep it here on One News.